Call the meeting to order, and we're going to ask Pastor Samuel Page of the Eufaula Church of God in Christ to lead us in invocation, and then please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father, we thank you for the council meeting tonight, Lord. We ask that you continue to bless them. Oh, Lord, bless our mayor, bless our police officers, bless our community. And Father, we just thank you for what you are doing in this community in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Mr. Collins.
Present.
Mr. Knight.
Present.
Mr. Bennett. Mr. Cobb.
Present.
Ms. Fleur. Present.
Mayor, did you have any recognition? The agenda was posted on the website and provided to the council members before the meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So move.
So Mr. Knight, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cobb, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed likewise. We have a consent agenda that consists of the city council minutes of November 18th, 2013. And then also we have a claims docket dated November 22nd, 2013 in the amount of $5,684.39. I think that's the smallest one we've had. What's the wishes of the council on the consent agenda?
Offer motion to approve.
Motion approved by Mr.
Second.
Knight, second by Ms. Fleury. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Mayor?
Just one thing here. Most of you probably know Sergeant Bobby Gilbert. He's a member of the 1103rd. He's deployed in Afghanistan, and he's going to bring a Christmas card that he sent to the city and the city staff and the council. You know, it's Christmas time, this time of year, things are pretty hectic, and everyone's running about, the family and all that. These guys are in Afghanistan, so just keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Especially this Christmas time.
Mayor, have we got a mailing address for them?
Yes, we did.
Could we post that on our website? It'd be nice for us to send some cards to them. And
Yeah, we even thought
Find out
about getting
some
a little
information.
gift box up and
that'd be great.
try to get that
Sure will.
back to them, you know, a little few takes from home, maybe some superior pecans, and a BLT from Red Basket would be nice if would last that trip. But yeah, we can certainly do that. But Bobby's he's a great guy, great officer. And,
Good officer.
I spoke out there at the deployment, and he come up and hugged we hugged necks before. It was a man hug, but we hugged. It was a pretty emotional ceremony, but just keep those guys in your thoughts. All of our servicemen, but we have some neighbors that are in Afghanistan, so we just need to think about them always, but especially this time of year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Getting to the visitor section on the agenda, and anyone who would like to speak regarding the tax proposals that we have will be welcome to speak during the visitor section tonight. And then we've also made the decision to have another public hearing on Thursday, December 12th at 5.
Let your voice be heard. The City of Eufaula would like to hear from you regarding the proposed new tax increases. All you need to do is call 688-2000. That's 688-2000. Or contact the mayor or the city councilman in your district. That number again, to let your voice be heard, 688-2000, 688-2000.
Change the way you think about tires with a tire that outperforms the rest. Stop short and last longer. Save fuel. Get it with a Michelin tire from Herndon Tire Company. Outperforming for your business since 1964. Herndon Tire Company offers you the best tires, Michelin, and the best service. Alignments, brake repairs, struts, oil changes, custom exhaust, and nitrogen for your tires. For a safe, smooth ride, see them today. Herndon Tire Company, 810 South Eufaula Avenue, Eufaula.
5 p.m. right here in the city courtroom. That'll be published in the newspaper. So that'll be a another opportunity. Today, it's on our agenda to have the first reading of those tax proposals, and they'll be eligible to be voted upon at our next meeting in December. So tonight and the public hearing December 12th. Of course, people feel free to contact any of the council members and mayor, questions or feedback on that in between now and then. Are there any visitors who'd like to address the council for any reason? Mr. Perkins.
Yes, Harry Perkins. I had two more questions I wanted to ask that I didn't push hard enough to ask last time. Concerning the taxes, are there any exemptions or exclusions concerning the tax increases this time like there was last time? And my second question, how much does the city plan to expect to generate from each of these three taxes? I know y'all bracketed it up. This wasn't enough, this was enough. So you have a good idea, but how much on each one of the three taxes did you expect to generate? Those are my two questions. Thank you.
Let me take the second question first. Typically, a half-cent sales tax would produce conservatively about $700,000 in a full tax year. That will not happen with this tax. We will probably, assuming the tax is passed in December, the half-cent sales tax will not be able to be implemented until February or March, because we have to, that's when it could start to be collected. So that's almost halfway through our fiscal year. The other note on that is typically the sales revenue is the highest in October, November, December, and even some in the first part of January. So we're missing out on that tax time, and that's because that's when people are going to spend most of their money for Thanksgiving and Christmas items. So the revenue for this fiscal year from that will be, we're anticipating it to be less than $350,000 on the half-cent sales tax. It could be less than $300,000 because of that tax. So
about each one.
yeah, so the other taxes will be able to be implemented a little sooner. And do you remember those?
The motor fuel tax was about $125,000 for a whole year.
So
That's a conservative figure.
and that could go in once again. That'd be a lifetime.
Yeah, it's a lifetime on that.
And then the garbage, once again, that'll take a little lag, and that's $1. And then
That was about $45,000.
about
It's
$45,000.
conservative figure.
So one of the things we want to look at seeing, if we have some good fortune, there's some other efforts out there that have been pending, and if we get some other tax revenues in, we may be able to back off at least some of the smaller ones initially. And of course, we're putting a time frame on the sales tax. And your first question about anything being excluded, I don't think we had anything excluded in this half cent because we were limiting it for just 3 years. Is that everyone's understanding? I know that's what's in the. I hope it's their understanding because that's what we have in the what we're publicizing right now.
We exempted cars.
Well, those
Tax
items,
rate.
the same things that were exempted as meaning that there was no change in those items would be the same thing as in here. I mean, in this, it's just the sales and use tax for the general sales and use tax, not on machinery or equipment. The last time we passed that half cent, we highlighted the items that were not changing. This, we are just changing the same things that the half cent was done back in May.
I'm confused now.
Okay, sorry.
Are car lots exempt?
Yes, the same large ticket items, that were exempt last time that we went up for the half cent are exempt this time, or not exempt is not the proper word, means that there was no change.
No change,
There
that's
was no
right.
change. And, it's not an exemption, so to speak, it's that there were not changed. So, I think last time what we did was we highlighted the things that were not increasing to show that it was not an across-the-board increase. This time, it's just that the increases to the same items where that half cent went in last time. Okay, does that explain it? Basically?
then the same exemptions and
Like
exclusions
for-
are continued.
Right, for the same items like for large farm equipment, for automobiles, those things, that there has not been an increase on those. There's not a proposed increase for there.
Okay, well, that's why I asked the question.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good question.
Yeah.
Anyone else wish to address the council on that or any other matter, Ron? And I know we haven't probably gotten back to you on the percentages of streets, have we, that we're getting with A-Trip? You asked that question, and I don't think, if Tim doesn't have it yet, or gotten it to you, I haven't gotten it to you, so I know that's still pending.
The issues of A-Trip concern me because we are dropping education by a substantial amount of money. We are taking this and putting it into what you admit is a small percentage of Eufaula roads. We need infrastructure. We need road improvement, but not at the expense of people in the average place here in Eufaula that are making $900 a month. That's what your average constituent that voted for you makes, about $900 a month. You spend their money like it's going out of style. That bothers me. When you have this kind of input and you don't know, the council just said a minute ago that the revenue from this was going to be handled one way and the city attorney said another, you all don't know. You're showing you don't know. Get your act together. Find out what you're approving, how it's affecting the people of Eufaula. I have contacted numerous people. In this numerous people that I've contacted, nobody has said, do this. Not one person. Has somebody told you, ladies and gentlemen, that they are in favor of doing this? You better be checking. There is a point of accountability. That's the old business. Now let's get into the new. Tonight you have on your agenda about a pawn shop ordinance. This affects me because these are advertisements. You said a year ago you could not extend this by 1 year. You said this 1 year was all we could do. The city didn't get its act together, and the city is now wanting to extend it a year. It was your word. If we don't have your word, what can we do? Thank you.
Let your voice be heard. The City of Eufaula would like to hear from you regarding the proposed new tax increases. All you need to do is call 688-2000. That's 688-2000. Or contact the mayor or the city councilman in your district. That number again, to let your voice be heard, 688-2000, 688-2000. Billy Lawrence Chevrolet is your home for great deals and real savings on both new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Right now, choose their great selection of GM certified vehicles that come with a 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty. And their service department has trained technicians that can service and repair your vehicle. Hurry into Billy Lawrence Chevrolet on Highway 431 South.
Thank you, Ron. I'll just challenge the one point. We understood about the tax question, and I may not have answered that correctly to Harry off of that when he brought it up, and that's why we have Courtney here to help explain that. But we knew we were doing the same tax. I don't think we had a misunderstanding of that. But I understand your point off of that, and that goes back to communicating well with the public and make sure we're doing that. We fully recognize that a sales tax hits the lowest income and fixed income the most. That's not something we want to do. Our options for tax revenue are extremely limited. And we also, at least I think we have a consensus up here that the last thing we want to do is hinder a high quality school system. And we recognize that that's what happened when we cut some of the funds out of it. Fortunately, the school system has some wherewithal where they've been addressing it. They've had to address it from a look back instead of a look forward. So the timing issues on this have been not good either, and we'll take responsibility for that. Good part of that is transition between one administration and council and another. So those are all lessons learned that we want to take. Our goal would be to work with the school system and help recover those funds and find ways that they could have it on a more secure basis than relying on sales tax and city council general fund appropriation, because our general fund is the one that's least flexible. So at least right now. So your points are well taken, Ron. And I would encourage any of those folks who've told you no, to, call us and please come. I mean, we're getting some of that. If I were to, if you ask me, I'd say no, I don't want to do this tax. My point would be is, what are the alternatives in terms of dealing with either not taking advantage of opportunities we have out here, not taking care of capital expenditures that we have, or if we don't put it in, who else are we going to cut and where we're going to cut? We know we can cut some of the opportunities out. So those are good points, and that's why we're having these discussions. Thank you, Ron. Anyone else wish to address the council? It doesn't have to be on the taxes. If you have something else, feel free. Thank you, and I'll say again tonight, like I said at the public hearing, I appreciate the public showing up. The first time we had the half-cent sales tax, which we probably should have done the full cents at that time. We had 2 people show up, one at each meeting, and they both were in favor not only of the sales tax, but spending more money on other things. So I appreciate the public. They need to hold us accountable. And if they don't show up and make those points, then I assure you not having that oversight doesn't help us make some of the hard choices. If no other visitor business, we're going to ordinances and resolution. We have ordinance 2013-4, first reading, which is a garbage ordinance, and I'm just going to have you go through all these first readings. Ordinance 2013-5, first reading of the sales and use tax ordinance. Ordinance 2013-6, the gasoline motor fuel tax ordinance, and you just read that first. Cover off that.
All right. Proposed ordinance 2013-4, an ordinance amending certain sections of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Eufaula regarding solid waste collection and disposal services, increasing the fee by $1 so that each family dwelling, mobile home, or apartment shall pay $14 per month for 1 or 2 32-gallon containers. And then ordinance 2013-5, an ordinance amending the sales and use tax ordinances to increase the sales and use tax from 3.5% to 4%. And then proposed ordinance 2013-6, an ordinance increasing the gasoline and motor fuel license tax from 2 cents per gallon to 3 cents per gallon.
These constitute the first reading. Next ordinance is 2013-7, and this is a tidal pond extension ordinance, and Ron made reference to this. The discussion off of this was the objective was to have this moratorium on tidal pond shops until we could draft an ordinance to specifically cover locations and distances for the commercial zoning on tidal and pawn shops. That has not been completed, Ron. You're exactly right. It's supposed to have been done within a year. I will say we've had a number of distractions off of this. We've had the city attorney addressing that ordinance and working on it. Do you want to make a statement on that, Ms.
Can I just address Ron's statement? We've had 2 drafts that have actually been presented to the Planning Commission, so it's not, Ron, that nothing has been done on this. And then a consensus was not reached at the Planning Commission, and it's basically been sent back to the drawing board because because what we realized is that some additional changes need to be made to the zoning ordinances at the same time that we're considering the tidal pond. And just this only applies as a moratorium to people that are coming to establish a new business. We have not had anyone come to City Hall and say that we want a business license for a new Title Palm business. So we have not seen somebody that's been adversely impacted, so therefore we did not see it as a priority item to put above some of the greater priorities that we've had this past year, because it has been a busy year. And so given that, I don't think that an additional year, and hopeful that we won't need a full year, would be unduly burdensome or unreasonable under those circumstances.
And I'll follow up a little bit on that, having been on the planning commission for years ago and chair of it. What happens when you change the zoning, if you don't get it timed in correctly, you can have businesses start up and be fully legal. And I see David Patrick out there, a realtor, knows this, and you people in the financial institution. And then we change the zoning ordinance, and all of a sudden that business is in what's called a non-conforming district. And that can adversely impact finance, sales, a host of activities that take place. They can still operate, but it's not a good situation. And so in this context, this at least gives a heads up on it. And I think that they've progressed up to the planning commission, and they've got it on their table. So they've been meeting regularly. We haven't had problems with quorums there. So that group and Mr. Cobb is on that planning commission, so it's being addressed. And I'll echo what Courtney said. We hope that won't take a year to get that resolved either. So one thing it does do is any business, if they do show up and ask to put in a title palm, that they'd be aware that there's certain actions out there, and they could make better decisions in terms of not being put in a non-conforming district. To take action on this, we have to suspend the rules to act on it. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules?
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Mr. Cobb recommends that. Next motion, second by Mr. Knight. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Do we need to roll call that? Roll call, please. I'm sorry.
Ms. Flores? Yes. Mr. Cobb?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes. Now, do I have a motion to extend ordinance, approve ordinance 2013-7, which is to extend this moratorium?
I'll make a motion that we extend 23-.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Knight, is there any questions or discussion? I guess we've had plenty leading up to it. We'll take a roll call vote.
Ms. Flores? Yes. Mr. Cobb?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes. Motion carries.
Let your voice be heard. The City of Eufaula would like to hear from you regarding the proposed new tax increases. All you need to do is call 688-2000. That's 688-2000. Or contact the mayor or the city councilman in your district. That number again, to let your voice be heard, 688-2000, 688-2000.
Sure, the chorus, my name is Lucky, and the reason they calls me Lucky is cause I got all of this money. And the reason I got all of this money is because I sells me gold on Dale Road.
Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road.
Next item on the agenda, I'm going to pass over and recuse myself. In fact, I'll step out. It involves an area where I'm on another board.
Chief, we want him out of here. We don't want him saying a word.
So not only will I recuse myself, I'll remove myself from the proceedings.
Slam.
Next on the agenda, we have the Resolution 83-2013. And before we go into that, I would like for our attorney to just
state it, please? 'Cause this is, now listen everybody, this is good. If you don't like this, don't come back next Tuesday.
Yeah. This is a resolution, the power company has proposed an amendment to our sublease agreement that would reduce the rent from $4,178 a month to $833 for the remainder of the current term, which would be effective December 1st, 2013 and expire on June 30th, 2015. And that if we elect to extend the lease, because we have an option, our third and final option to extend the lease for an additional 5 years, then the rent will be, instead of $833, it will be $4,805 per month if we extend it that additional 5 years.
That's good. That's going from 4178 down to 833.
Yes.
That is great. That is great. All right, with that in mind, we need a motion and a second.
I recommend that we
That's about a $70,000 savings over 2 years.
Yeah, I noticed it's $33.45 a month.
that I move we approve resolution 83, 2013.
All right, it's been moved.
Second.
Well, it's been moved and properly second. Question? Yes,
Can I
sir.
comment about that? I met with the officials at Alabama Power, and we turned over a lot of rocks looking for revenues, and not spending money, Ron. Not spending money is the same thing as making money. And when I met with the officials at Alabama Power Company, they said, "You're not the first mayor that's come and talked to us this year, because all cities are struggling right now." So this is a positive thing to save $70,000 over the next 2 years.
2 years. Okay, thank you, Mayor. With that said and done, we have a roll call.
Ms. Fleur?
Yes.
Mr. Cobb?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes. All right, motion approved, motion carried. You can get it back in now.
Leave my This is good.
Man, I'd just like to say, I think that was job well done.
Don't say a word.
I mean, it's well done. And,
In a hurry.
orders, you two, don't say nothing to him. Just let us go on with the meeting and
Go home.
that's carried.
All right, thank you, Mr. Knight.
You're welcome.
Resolution 84, 2013, accepting bid for a knuckle boom, and we have some information in our packet and pictures, and Barbara, would you want to make some comments or ask Tim to?
Tim, talk to us about your knuckle boom truck. We got pictures here.
It's an 05 Sterling truck with a Raymer knuckle boom loader on it, and that's the name brand that we other loaders. So we have a good parts inventory already set up for those for that type machine. We brought it up here. It's been a month ago now. We used it a full 8 hours, and it performed great. And a new one with times like that, a new one, a price of new one, then they anywhere from 110,000 to 120,000. So with with our parts inventory we have, if something was to happen, we should have something on the shelf for it. And I just thought that would be a great investment, 25,000 versus 110.
Before you sit
4,400.
Before you sit down, Tim, I wish you explained to us the optional air conditioning part with the knuckle boom on the truck.
Yeah, the air conditioning that's inside the cab of the knuckle boom actually runs off the compressor that operates the truck air conditioning. The new unit we purchased in 09 just got the same setup.
Okay.
And we've had really good luck with it. Very minor few problems, and it's the same design as one we've had since 09. So we feel comfortable about that.
Okay. With that,
Any other questions? I have a motion to approve the resolution 84, 2013.
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Murray, any further discussion or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise? Motion carries. I've handed out a resolution, and we had a discussion on this at our work session, when the last public hearing. This resolution authorizes the city attorney to get an attorney general's opinion regarding an entertainment district. Remember that conversation? All we're doing here is authorizing, should this be approved, is authorize the city attorney to contact the Attorney General of the state of Alabama to see if Eufaula qualifies under the state law to set up an entertainment district. We were advised to do this through the Alabama League of Municipalities. We feel comfortable with it, but we don't know for sure without asking the Attorney General. It doesn't really cost us anything, but it could take a little while. We can still move ahead with actions on it. So could I have a motion to approve this authorization for the city attorney to ask the Attorney General?
So moved.
Mr. Knight, second by Ms. Murray. Any further discussion or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Thank you, Courtney, if you'll follow up on that. Also, we have move ahead to council action and discussion. Contract has been presented to the city clerk and treasurer and the mayor by Pitney Bowles. And this is a cost saving. I'm going to ask city clerk treasurer
There's
to discuss this.
6 more months are left on the lease, and we've been approached that we can save over $116 a month if we downgrade some. And overall, this would save $1,200 or $1,300 a month if we move forward with this. And we're all looking at ways to try to save money, and we think that we can handle things with this size supposed to be. And this was done on a state bid back about 2.5 years ago.
Does this extend the lease?
It's just, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so this, we get a lower rate, and it'll extend the...
So overall, it would probably be over $3,000.
Over $3,000 over...
Yeah, $3,600.
Over the term of the lease. What are the wishes of the council on that?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Actually, let me clarify that. I'm sorry. What we're authorized is the mayor to execute that agreement.
Contract.
Okay, so Joy was just explaining that the mayor would be the one to execute it. So
Great.
you may offer a motion to authorize the mayor
To execute.
that. That's
right.
Second by Mr. Cobb. Any further discussions, questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you for that, doing that homework, and I know everyone's working hard on this.
Let your voice be heard. The City of Eufaula would like to hear from you regarding the proposed new tax increases. All you need to do is call 688-2000. That's 688-2000. Or contact the mayor or the city councilman in your district. That number again, to let your voice be heard, 688-2000, 688-2000.
It was the craziest thing. I was just driving along, and this squirrel came out of nowhere. Wow. The good news is, Alpha has the largest customer service team in Alabama. So you'll be dealing with people here, not all over the country. Awesome. Really not a scratch on it. You are lucky.
For a plan built just for you, contact Keith Bryan in Eufaula.
Anything you want to mention about committee reports, finance?
No, we should have our sales tax figure in for the next meeting.
Okay. And I'll mention that Mr. Bennett was away on a business trip, could not be here tonight, otherwise he'd be reporting to us. Education, library, zoning, and chamber. I don't have any report. Mr. Tyler, do you have anything to say about the school holidays or anything like that that's coming up?
We're looking forward to Christmas.
Okay. You've got some school events. Have they already, did you acquire things and some programs like that?
We do. We have several things coming up. You can access our website. You can go to the Google Calendar on our website. That has a lot more extensive events listed for our school system. There's middle school concerts coming up, Christmas concerts. There's a dinner theater coming up at the Chamber, I believe this Thursday night at 6.
And that requires prior.
I think it's $5.
And they have to give notice first.
Right, that's coming up, and of course our primary and elementary schools will be having some of their concerts in the evening for Christmas coming up. So there is a lot going on these next 3 weeks, as well as just business as usual. So, but right now things are going well. We are working hard on our end too as far as finances. We met 2 solid weeks looking at shifting funds. Shifting funds to cover personnel. Very rarely do you get an opportunity to mess with title federal money in order to shift that funding personnel, say from a locally funded person to title money or OSR money. And we have been working hard on that. The committees have all approved it. You have to go through extensive, Bob, things like that. And it could, we had about $134,000 back to the general fund. And we haven't yet.
That's the school's general fund.
That's the school. That's the school's general fund. So, because a lot of times you fund units and stuff out of your general fund when you're trying to enhance your educational opportunities. We haven't addressed professional development funds that were allocated. We're going to pull back money from the schools. So we're still looking at ways to try to recoup the dollars. So we're working hard on our end also.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Also, I mentioned, I know Courtney didn't have this on her schedule, but Mr. Bennett would have been here. He might have helped us. Both Lakeside School System has a website also for activities and calendars. So I encourage folks. We have a city website that includes these agendas and information, including now as I mentioned earlier at the public hearing, where you can go in and get our claims docket. You can see where every check's written. It has different activities. The chamber has their website, so you have the school system, the chamber. Take advantage of those websites for information. Parks, Recreation, and Airport, Mr.
Keith, done a good job.
Streets, Sanitation, and Cemetery.
Nothing else. They're just working hard, trying to keep trash up and everything running.
I want to mention, we've had some different discussions through the year about cost savings and doing things, and I happened to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning Thursday. I guess it's old age, you just wake up sometimes. But anyway, our folks, our city folks were out picking up, emptying the garbage cans on their normal time on that Thanksgiving holiday. And we had, I think I texted you about something else, and folks got out there and took care of it. It was not pressing, but they got out there and took care of it. Really appreciate those actions, people working hard like that. And I also, Barbara and Johnny this may have been mentioned before, but we're doing some employee sharing right now with the water board. Is that correct? So,
yep. Yeah.
Another in an effort to save funds, and I don't know if you want to expand on that all, Mayor, but that's. I hope everyone sees that the effort's taking place.
As a matter of fact. Yeah, we have Gloria Helms who is splitting her time between the water board and City Hall. That's a savings of $40,000 a year for the 2 entities. So we're looking under every rock to see where we can save money and be more efficient. And we've done it. And these girls have done a lot of things to make us more efficient. That the decrease in the postage meter is a direct a result of what you guys did with the payroll. You're not having to mail out check stubs anymore. We don't do that. We don't mail out check stubs anymore. Everything's direct deposit. It's every 2 weeks for all employees. It used to be split up. There's some were getting it every week, some were getting it every 2 weeks. So now it's all uniform at the water board and the city, and everything is direct deposit. There's no more paper checks. There's no more paper stubs. There's no more mailing. So I mean, it's a little thing, but over a period of time, it turns into a big thing. So we're looking at every possible way to, there's a lot of technology out there to help us be more efficient and save money, and that's Joy and her staff do an excellent job of trying to stay out in front of that kind of stuff and look for ways to be more efficient. So, and we're going to continue to do that on a lot of areas. We've come make some progress. We've got a long ways to go. Don't want to spend your money on.
Daryl Baker's here, who's the manager of the water board, and it took his cooperation and collaboration with the mayor of the board to make that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and they're trying that. We hope it'll work well, but anytime you start moving people around like that, 2 different locations, it's going to have some challenges. But appreciate your cooperation in looking at that and trying to make that work too. Police, fire, and personnel.
Well, in your package, you got a bi-weekly report. Please read it in your spare time. And I'd just like to ask the chief how we coming with our search. Is everything beginning to fall in place?
Yes, sir.
You know we got a shortage of officers. Now I hate to, I'm not gonna get started. We are short on police officers. You cannot run a city or a sheriff with 3 or 4 police officers. It's not fair for you to even ask these policemen to do their jobs. And it's not fair for you to ask the policemen to take cuts or lose jobs when there's a great need. Now, those of you in here that don't know it, you need to wake up in the morning, you need to talk to your neighbors whose houses are getting broken in and vandalized, and call me on my spare time.
Let's make a motion.
That's it. Give me anything else y'all want to bring up? We have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion second to adjourn. Meeting stands adjourned.
Let your voice be heard. The City of Eufaula would like to hear from you regarding the proposed new tax increases. All you need to do is call 688-2000. That's 688-2000. Or contact the mayor or the city councilman in your district. That number again, to let your voice be heard, 688-2000, 688-2000.